Good morning. Welcome to Gadsden, Etowah County. Glad to have you all here. I'm David Hooks. I'm the Executive Director of the Gadsden Etowah Industrial Development Authority, and again, we welcome you for this big announcement today. We have many of our friends in the audience. I would like to before we really kind of start, take a point of personal privilege and recognize my wife, Katrina Hooks, who's hung around with me for 51 years, through the good and the bad and all that. She takes a lot of flack for the things I do, as some of you know, and she should get some of the credit for what we do as well. So, but to do any project of this size, and I'm going to save a lot of the conversation for the mayor, but to do any project this size takes a team effort. I'd like to recognize some of the team members that were involved in this recruitment of this major announcement for the city of Gadsden and Etowah County, and some of those names don't typically get mentioned. But the site selection consultants from the Austin company, Matt Pariba and Brandon Talbert, who we worked with very actively together, the whole ultra-safe nuclear team, including Dan, Ted, Steve, and Brian, very specifically, the mayor and the council for their support, the state, Governor Ivey, Commissioner Canfield, and April Gray, who was the project manager on this particular project. The IDA board, which has supported me for the last 4 years and kept me afloat, and our principal funding providers along with that, the Mayor's Association in Etowah County, and I can't speak highly enough for the support that they've given us collectively across the board on every project that we've worked on, all the utility providers that are involved in a project of this size, all the workforce development teams that are involved in a project of this size. And when I tell you some of these people that have been involved, you can think about the numbers adding up, so that there were probably at least 50 people directly involved in the recruitment of this project. And the fact that we kept it a secret for 8 months is pretty amazing. And especially for the press and the people asking, and the fact that we're now announcing it yesterday and then today. So with that, no further ado, I'm going to bring up Mayor Craig Ford.
Thank you, and since David mentioned his wife, I was going to mention mine also anyway. But I don't know where Gwen is. Is she here? She's in the very back. There you go. I want to say thank you to everybody that's come here today. I want to thank our council, Jason Wilson, Dixie Minatra, Bishop T, Tanya Latham, Pastor Steve Smith, our President Kent Back, Councilman Chris Robinson, and Commissioner Craig Enzer, who's on the front row. When we started this 6 months ago, David Hooks came to me, and our IDA director, who we are very thankful to have him, asked me, he said, we have a company that's interested and we'd like for you to meet with them. So we met with them, and I said, so how does this go, David? I'm familiar with Montgomery. And he said, well, here's a menu of services. And he gave us a menu, and he went down it, and he said, what incentives would you like to offer? Well, without looking at the menu, I offered him back the menu, and I said, give him the carte blanche. We want the whole thing. He looked at me and he thought I was kind of crazy, and he said, are you serious? I said, we want this company. This is something we want. This is something we ran on, and this is something that Gadsden stands for. If you notice our new brand on the logo on the podium behind me, John Moore mentioned last week our colors. We chose charcoal gray for the industrial strength of Gadsden. We also chose a bright red upward arrow for the intensity of growth that we want to see, and we're seeing it. The reason we're here today affirms the meanings of Gadsden's new brand. The working together with the other governments and the county commission was so instrumental in bringing this industry to Gadsden. You'll hear from Chairman Craig Enzer about county commission, our Mayor's Association. I see Mayor Breeze, Mayor Taylor, Mayor Means from Atala. This was an effort that we were all able to work together, and that's what it takes to bring industry to Gadsden and Etowah County. And what's good for them is good for us, and what's good for us is good for them. And we want to thank them for working with us. We promise to recruit new industries that are appropriate for Gadsden. We promise to promote strengths like Gadsden State, JSU, our geographical location, and our low cost of living. Our AIDT and our ATN were very instrumental and helpful in bringing this industry also. You know that I have a little bit of a military in me. When we went to the reception 2 nights ago, I asked the president of the Southeastern Division, I said, I want an AAR, an after-action review. Why did you choose Gadsden? They chose us over 2 other sites, 16 states, and over 100 locations. The number one thing that he told us was the affordability of his employees of being able to live here. Number 2 was the terrain and the accessibility to our industrial development coordinator, Mr. David Hooks, and our Mayor's Association and our Mayor's office. So I want to thank everybody in our office that had something to do with this, because that was very instrumental in bringing this company here. He was very instrumental in saying the AIDT and the ATN and what they were offering in the package that we put together to be able to offer them that the other states could not offer. So people, I want to tell you, I don't want to call out the cities that we beat out on getting this project, but we beat out the state of Texas and Tennessee. So War Eagle. Some of you can say Roll Tide. Because of the people of Gadsden believe in the approach today, we can finally say proudly that Ultra Safe Nuclear Corporation has chosen Gadsden for its $232 million advanced manufacture and assembled plant. So I want to let you know the name is Ultra Safe Nuclear. There is no nuclear that's going to be brought here to Gadsden, Alabama. We're going to be building the modular units. When this unit is completed, it'll take a month to complete the unit. We'll transport it out on 11 to 12 flatbed trucks to wherever its location is going, and then the nuclear will be infused at the point of the location that purchased the unit. The payroll will be $15 million. The economic annual impact for the city of Gadsden will be $100 million for this particular plant. They will start in 2024. It'll be completed in 2027. So I want you to be patient with us, as it is a marathon, not a sprint, but we're going to be there with them lock, step, and barrel in every step of the way. When this company came across the desk, we asked them about the company name. They reassured me there would be no nuclear radiological material at the Gadsden plant. The Gadsden plant will build micro-modular reactors. They will be shipped to the customer's location and built on site. Once they are built on site is when the fuel components will be involved. It breaks a new market in the energy independence movement made in Gadsden, Alabama. This is the first plant of its kind in the country, not much less the world, but this is the first plant in the country, the United States of America, is coming to Gadsden, Alabama. We were chosen among 16 states, hundreds of sites, 250 jobs with expansion potential. High-wage jobs earning from $50,000 to $90,000 a year. There will be professional and technical jobs, HVAC, welders, laborers, maintenance, management, and more. They chose us, again, based on our workforce, which is important, based on our history for manufacturing and assembly, geographical location and terrain, and quality of life and low cost of living. As I said, the timeline will be from 2024 to 2027. We definitely want to thank Governor Kay Ivey and the state and Secretary of Commerce Greg Canfield for their incentive package that they put together. This has been going back and forth with us and the mayor's office and IDA and our council for the last 3 months. We promised to run on transparency. We're as transparent as possible without letting loose out our incentive packages. I can't say thank you enough to David Hooks. David, thank you again. I got to travel with him yesterday. We got to sit 6 hours in the airport together due to weather delays. And of all that was said and done at the end of the day, David lost his luggage, or American Airlines did. So we're looking for a free flight, David. But we got to know each other pretty well, and we got to spend some time with each other. And David, thank you. And I cannot say thank you enough to the county commission and to our council for being there with us and asking the questions that needed to be done, going in executive sessions, and being able to offer the incentives that we did. We worked tirelessly to get this plant, and we are excited. This is a big day for Gadsden. I told David yesterday in about the 5th hour, the 6th hour sitting there, and I looked at David. I said, Dave, this may be as big as when we announced Goodyear and Republic Steel back in the day. So he said the opportunities that this will open up is insurmountable. So we're excited. And David, again, thank you. And to Ms. Hooks, thank you for allowing us to have him. Okay, I'll take some questions before we turn it over to Commissioner President Craig Enzer. Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk about the incentives, exactly what the city of Gadsden has put towards this project as far as that goes?
David, you want to pinpoint that?
Yeah, we agreed to do, The city's committed to upgrading the road into the plant and also making sure that water and sewer is available for the plant. It's only incentive package that it improves the site itself. It's not directly to the company. So any improvement would be site development, just as we would be doing for any industry, or even if we were just developing an industrial site.
How much does something like this help future businesses want to come here and invest in Gadsden, Alabama?
So this is exactly what we have to do. So when we went to the reception 2 nights ago, we met multiple other companies that came up to us and wondered why we weren't nuclear physics. I think you could tell just by looking at us. But I told David between he and I, our ACT scores didn't combine the lowest one in the room. But we were able to introduce ourselves. We were the only mayor of a city there other than Charlotte, North Carolina. When they announced us, it was almost like, I'm an old football player, it was almost like get in the game and go play ball. The gentleman, and you'll see some videos on that later, had a Google Earth, and he went into the 13 states and zeroed it down to Alabama and then zeroed it down to Gadsden. And I was like, let's go. So then we had other companies, as soon as the meeting was over, come up to us and ask for cards, and they wanted to know where we were from, what are we interested in, are we willing to grow, would we offer the same incentives to them? And we said absolutely. So it was hard for us to get out of the room before we handed out 20 cards to other companies that do similar like businesses. So we were excited. It was phenomenal. I was proud to be a Gadsdenite, if you could say that, but we're on the map, and this is big for us.
Where exactly will it be in Gadsden?
So it's going to be down Steel Station Road near the airport.
So Still Station Road, there are other businesses out there, some homes out there. Is there any traffic study going on as, 250 jobs get ready to be put out there to make sure that road is sustainable for that?
So there was a plant that was going to locate there a couple of years ago, and the traffic studies and everything were complete. So we were able to use those same traffic studies, and we were able to utilize some of the grants that were in that industry that we're utilizing in this industry. We talked to the engineer department this morning. We had a meeting. We submitted the grant already. So DECA is going to be involved, and also Greg Canfield, Department of Commerce. So it helped. As you see, Representative Rod Scott with his back against the wall is part of the mayor's staff, and my former legislative experience and David's experience, and Senator Larry Means from Atala also helped us too. Be able to get back in contact with some of these people in Montgomery. So that it kind of all went hand in hand, and we were able to resurrect some of those grants that were available back then. So,
Is there a plan to expand that road in any way?
yes.
How important in the decision was it that just knowing that there's no nuclear stuff going on there?
So after what City of Gadsden has gone through, I think it was pretty important that it involved nuclear or animals. And it wasn't per se, it was a public perception, but nuclear is not a bad thing if it's handled in the correct way. And if somebody wants to bring a nuclear plant here and they want to do the due diligence and go through the safety thing, we'll entertain. We're open for business, so we're going to look at all businesses, but some businesses fit an area better than others, and nuclear at the airport may not be the right fit at that location. So that was one thing that we had a discussion with them about, and they explained to us the reason their name was Ultra Safe Nuclear for a reason, and that's why they transport it to the modular unit once it's put together, and they infuse it on site.
Has UltraSafe built a similar plant anywhere in the U.S.?
This is their first. They've built other plants, but this is their first modular plant that they're building, and they made that known yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday. It's been a long 48 hours. Do what now? First anyone's done in the whole world.
Do we know when y'all looking to try to break ground, get this finally
So we're going to be breaking ground in the next 3 months. So they're very aggressive. So we're already completing our grants. We turned them in this morning. Actually, some were turned in yesterday. And then we'll have a breaking ground, and then they'll start the process. So the economic impact of building the plant of $250 million will be a huge impact to the City of Gadsden also.
How will Gadsden help them find a new labor pool here?
Well, that's one thing we're excited. That's one thing they did their studies on, their economic impact studies, is that we have a huge labor pool within a 6-county radius. So we have Blount, St. Clair, DeKalb, Calhoun, Cherokee, Marshall. Those 5 counties, we're the largest county in the northeast region, and we have 5 counties that are contiguous to us that utilize our medical services. We have 2 hospitals in this county. We just had the shutdown of Goodyear plant in the year 2018. So we have a huge labor pool, and we're actually working through Gadsden State Community College through their new workforce development building. Was something that they were very excited about seeing, the $40 to $50 million building they're building over there, the ATN, the AIDT for the training of the employees. So it was phenomenal. That's what put us above the rest.
Can you talk about the pay for the jobs that will be here?
Yeah, they said starting pay will be $50,000 up to $90,000, and that was in the contract. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner President Craig Enzer, and I know our council and to the mayor's office. Thank you, Mr. President, and I'll turn it over to Craig Enzer. Thank you.
Thank y'all. What a great day for Gadsden and Etowah County. I'm going to start off by saying a little bit of back history on this, in the fact of this was, I would say, the end of last year, right when the election season was going on. This project came to David Hooks and myself and Shane and April Gray and the site selectors went out to the mega site and started looking at Etowah County, and that's how it started. And the mega site was not a fit for this. So we went right up the road, and what was a fit was right here by the airport because it was almost a shovel-ready area. It had the environmentals already done and all the things that David talked about, Craig's talked about. So I wanted to back up and say that since I came on the county commission in 2018, I had been wanting for the county commission and the city of Gadsden and really the mayor's association to be one IDA. And when we go down to Montgomery and we ask and we want and we're trying to go after these types of projects, we're together. We're not over here. We're not this. We're not that. We're one unit. We're one person. And so I say this a lot, but when Craig got elected, I walked in his office and I said, it's not if, it's when we will be one IDA. And we started a countywide IDA on January 1st with was first the Etowah County Commission in the city of Gadsden. Now we've got other mayors that have joined in on this. So we're a unified front. And as I thought last night, you know, what an investment on our return on our investment for 6 months in, and now we're announcing $232 million facility. So as far as the county commission goes, on behalf of the county commission, I want to thank our staff. I want to thank the city of Gadsden, all the council, the mayor's office, because we're finally together. We're finally working together. We've been preaching it. We've been saying it. There's been the naysayers saying it can't happen. It won't ever happen. Well, for 39 years, it didn't happen. And I can honestly say from January 1st of this year, this group and our group have come together along with the Mayor's Association, and we're a unified front. And when we go to Montgomery, we're getting things done. And we are on the map, and I've had a lot of people from around the state that I know that have texted me, congratulations, more's gonna come, this will put you on the map, thank you for what you're doing, all the things that you wanna hear, and it's a great day. So thank y'all for being here, and we look forward to more projects together. If there's any questions. Thank you. I'll now introduce Kent Back, President of the City Council.
Well, thank you all, and thank you all for being here today. I want to echo Mayor Ford and Commissioner Enzer's comments. This really is a great day for Gadsden and for Etowah County. I'd like to say it's a great day for Northeast Alabama. Goodwin Mills and Kaywood is doing a master plan for the city of Gadsden, and they've told us in some private meetings that we don't realize the diamond in the rough that we are, not just Gadsden, but all of Northeast Alabama. So as Mayor Ford had already alluded to, the workforce is going to have to come not just from Gadsden or Etowah County, but from contiguous counties. And this is going to spread into those counties, the actual workforce coming to our city to work. But you also have to realize it's also going to generate a whole new ideology of manufacturing. I think what we're about to see, this isn't our grandfather's welding or our grandfather's manufacturing processes. This is all new technology and cutting edge technology, not only in what they're going to produce, but in how they produce it. And so this is going to, I think, set Northeast Alabama apart from all other sections of the country, because this is the first plant of its kind. So that's what's exciting. And there's no mistake that the state of Alabama has invested probably going to be upwards of $40 million in the Gadsden State Community College campus for the Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center. It all works in congruency with one another to produce that workforce that's needed to go into this 21st century technology. I have a young friend that graduated from the University of Alabama in aerospace engineering. He is an actual rocket scientist. And through his dad, he got word to me that he works with ultra-safe nuclear, and this on NASA propulsion projects. So this is not your everyday announcement. This is not your everyday manufacturing company. This is new technology and new world, not only for Gadsden, but for Northeast Alabama and the state of Alabama. Want to also be mindful of, want to thank Senator Tommy Tuberville for his assistance in this, and also Congressman Robert Adderholt. They had a very large hand in bringing this opportunity to Gadsden. Also want to thank our council. We have 5 new council members out of 7, and we've been at this now for 7 or 8 months. And there's a coming together, not only as Commissioner Inzer alluded to, for the city and the county and the surrounding area, but also here at the city of Gadsden, how we're working with the mayor's office and how we're working with the city council together. So it's just, and I will also reiterate that probably since the Goodyear announcement in 1925, this is probably the largest, most important announcement for the city of Gadsden here in 2023. So it's a new day in Gadsden. We all ran on reimagining our city, reimagining our county, and little did we know, we're really reimagining Northeast Alabama. So, and a special thanks to David Hooks. I've had the opportunity to travel with David to 2 or 3 conferences, one in Auburn and one in Montgomery, well, actually 3, and then I think one in Birmingham. And you know somebody's important when they stand there and everybody walks up to them. And that's what happens when David Hooks gets in a room like this with other industrial recruiting type people and manufacturing people. They all want to come see David, who I've learned that everybody calls him Hooks. I still call him David, but everybody knows David Hooks. Everybody respects him. He's kind of a go-to guy. He's got 41 years experience in this business, and we're very fortunate that David chose to come home. He's an Itala native, but we're claiming him in Gadsden for sure, and we're grateful for his work, along with Bill Green in his office, and Malone Johnson, who is a rising star, Gadsden City graduate and a Georgia Tech graduate, and we're proud of what we're doing here in Gadsden. And again, thank you all for being here. We're excited. We are excited that ultra-safe nuclear has chosen Gadsden. The opportunity, I was talking with the Gadsden State folks, Alan Smith and Jeff Langford. They are going to play a vital role. They're the 2 guys that are going to kind of spearhead the training of our new workforce. So stay tuned for that. There's exciting things to come. Thank you so much.
We want to thank everybody for coming. Are there any other last-minute questions?
Mayor, what prompted the logo change?
Rebranding our city in a new image, and then we enjoyed the colors. John Moore tackled that issue along with our council, and we had a subcommittee. But I think, when was Gadsden founded? I should know that, Kent. It's probably the last time we had a logo, 1846. So we just thought it was time to rebrand our city. And especially what our city's been through, and we're working together, the county, the city, the state, and especially with our congressmen, our U.S. senators, and our other mayors, and we're helping. And just stay tuned. There's more announcements coming. We're being as transparent as possible, but we have more irons in the fire as we speak today. So we were working with one this morning. All right. Thank you all very much. Thank you.